So greetings, sisters and brothers who are all part of the communion of pioneering souls and the synarchy who have stayed true through these wild years. I bow to your depth of being, devotion, commitment, and genius. We made it through the early chaos window of this last decade, and here we now stand, and we can really breathe in all the good that has been generated, like a wave flowing over us with grace, and the deepest knowing that we held to the good, the true, and the beautiful when there were temptations and when we were swept off course. Our North Star was true, and this has been an inside job since the beginning. Well, here I sit on the edge of the Salish Sea, up here in the bioregion of Cascadia, or as we like to say, Ecotopia. Wow. What a transition it was when we created a sequence of tipping points and trim tabs, as Bucky Fuller liked to call them, or as Danello Meadows would say, elegant intervention points. We love those. Who knew that the marine sanctuaries around the world would be the catalyst for our remembering that we are on a blue planet and that regenerative agriculture includes the waters? Whoa. That reframe took our breath away, our collective breath. And after the World Water Law came into greater consciousness with the public, and a few brave, enlightened legislators took the obvious steps to create laws that align with the principles of nature, the divine codes, we felt the shift. Oh God, it felt so good after the Salish Sea became a marine sanctuary, a long-held prayer by many of us, protected and stewarded, that rippled into bioregional governance, and the people were ready. Let me tell you, we actually began to embody in our social change strategies, finally, that we had left behind the Newtonian age of separation in order to understand the whole. And then we stepped fully into the quantum age, the integral age, the age where the wholeness was where we began, that field. And what would have been a linear, incremental journey to our desired goals, the thriving, flourishing goals, we saw the quantum jump. A small group of people holding a sufficiently coherent, positive image of the future shifted the chaos window through the eye of the needle into the harmony of wholeness, where we saw that the role of the visionary artists were bigger than we had ever imagined. And we began to feel our love expanding to embrace our planet as a whole. We had the planetary Pentecost. Oh, I love that. Ugh. Shortly after World Water Law started gaining ground, first in small towns and then cities who were actually ready to say yes to embodying their compassion. And we felt in that ripple of joy across the planet when we felt really our oneness, that we were stepping fully into our divine destiny. Water stewards across the planet began implementing these new ways of being, which means to honor all the elements and the commons. The ocean was finally seen as the global commons to be tended. Then the wild release of solutions that have been locked inside our collective DNA, waiting for these moments to be unleashed, it happened. And we cleaned up the plastic pollution gyres in the Pacific and everywhere, and we stopped finally bombarding our brothers and sisters in the oceans, our true family, with noise that was stopping their songs. How is that even possible? Those songs from being sung. And then the interspecies communication channel truly opened up. Woo! Our love for the ocean knew no bounds. We felt this extreme rapturous biophilia where we stopped doing harm. It was incredible. It was beyond our imagining. We were suddenly standing in a world of oneness. And then, we knew around solstice 2021 that we're living in the time of the fulfillment of the prophecies, and the indigenous people and elders began to have a stronger voice in all the new and emerging networks of governance that were springing up. Finally, we had technologies that could serve the mycelial weaving of the social systems and the new illuminated DNA of this new sacred species of humans. who could implement more synergistic co-creation. Oh, how glorious that was. The eagle and the condor came together, and the heart and the mind, global heart and global mind. We can't forget that it was not the billions of people who started this. It was the 10% of the population who suddenly, and of course it had been coming for millennia, that we were all one and we were many. And we could align around our values and intentions. The unanimous charter was a great catalyst. And as the water of our bodies began to hum with these greater, higher citic states and these higher, beautiful harmonies and knowings, we made the wiser decisions that could heal the oceans of our fragmented thinking. Oh my God, glory, glory, glory. And the councils of all being with the declaration of four sacred things was a new pattern in our global governance, where the wisdom of the mothers and the grandmothers were at the heart, where the wisdom councils provided a continual input loop into the decision-making systems. Finally, we remembered we are the architects of our future, and that we came here to remember our infinite love for this glorious blue planet and each other, and our natural stewardship unfolded.
Love the arts of the story. Wow. Sheri.